Hey guys, so I just finished watching Arrow, episode six, I think, no, episode six or five there, a little bit there in the title. This is the one um, where they go to see Oliver goes and tries to bring Thea back. Um, Spoiler alert, he gets her back, he brings her back home. Um, it's definitely interesting. I was hoping that when he was going to tell her, I was hoping that he was actually going to tell her that he's the Arrow. Um, but then again, having her not like if he told her that he was the Arrow instead of just telling him about her stepfather, actually, I guess. Instead of her, if he had told her, like maybe he should have, and they would like to have seen that. But then again, then there's no one left that doesn't really know that Oliver Queen is the Arrow. Really, there's not many people. Even now, there's Thea and Captain Lance. You know, that's it. They're the only two people really who know him. Well, there's Thea, Captain Lance, and Ray Palmer. Those are the few characters that really know, and they don't know that he's the Arrow. Even I feel like they introduced Ted Grant here, Wildcat, which the guy was pretty good in here. The only thing is there was no like the gym was pretty cool, and he was he's a boxer and he's doing it 24/7 and whatnot, but there was no you know there was no like the problem with the Ted Grant in here is just that I just saw was that all he is just a boxer in a uh, in a gym, who's maybe been doing this all his whole life or whatnot. This guy's been just in the gym, whereas, and I know, maybe he is like probably very good at fighting and whatnot, but it's not the same as fighting, with the League of Assassins, fighting on the island, fighting Slade that Oliver had to do on and off the island. Oliver had to run for his life from Amanda Waller, and he was already dead. He was running for his life, but because everyone else thought he was already dead, so he really had to do all those things. For the past 5 years that we're still learning. Um, he had to, you know, and Sarah like training with the League of Assassins. Even that's why Thea went to try and get her skills uh, from from Malcolm Merlin, because he's been trained by the League of Assassins and he knows what he's doing. He's done some of those things. He's used them, not in a good way, but he's used them. He's fought the arrow. He's fought uh, you know uh, pretty well known like people. He's done some of that stuff. And the way he pushed her. I don't think this Wildcat. I know he's the actual trainer in the comics, and I think that it's good that they actually have them. I like that they keep the origin pretty much the same, but I just think that I think they need to start explaining. What makes him worthy of training her. Because she already has your basic self defense class, and she clearly wants more and whatnot, wants like more skills than what she has. But I just feel like he's not fighting for his life all the time. That's not how he learned to fight. Where he learned to fight, he doesn't have that going for him or anything like that. Oliver, is fighting for his life, fought for his life for 5 years straight. And so did Sarah. And she's so I know obviously she's going to slowly get better and better as she's doing this, and whatnot. But I just think hoping to see a little bit more, like because every time she tries to, Sarah, yeah, no, every time Laurel brings up Sarah, and wants to revenge her, or go after someone or anything like that. Oliver always brings up she had training, she was trained by the best, and so I definitely can't wait to see what makes this Ted Grant so worthy of a trainer. Obviously, she can get whatever she can take, and maybe they'll just go onto that aspect. Like if she can't act, she's not going to go over, she can't go and just leave her father right now and go train with the League of Assassins. It was so she can't, it's just not doable. She can't go to the League of Assassins because you can't, that's not doable because you can't leave the League of Assassins. That's not so she can't do that. And then Oliver won't train her. So I understand that there also is that dilemma where who can train her then, if the only people available can't train her. But then again, I can't wait I want to find out though what makes this guy so good. I mean, obviously, yeah, he was by the end there, and he was good doing the boxing and whatnot. But boxing, someone there's always an end to the fight. When Oliver fought on the island, there was no end to it, and the end was someone's death. There was no, there was no tapping out, no nothing, no knockout stop, or like he was just, you continue. So it was really, so that's what I'm really going to be interested in finding out, see how they make him worthy of training a superhero and whatnot. How they rectify something like that, and how they not rectify, but they go over something like that, and how they make him a worthy teacher. I mean, right now he's just a boxing coach or whatnot. But maybe he is really good, and they'll go through and do it. But I think that if she is going to be if she is going to be training, she doesn't like she ever since Sarah's been dead, she hasn't been doing much lawyering and whatnot. But which I don't know, did she have her job back? Oh yes, I think she did. She blackmailed the person, her boss or ex-boss, with the press and whatnot. But so I definitely want to see, so she's lawyering, so it's not like she has the time to be able to go and do this boxing with Ted Grant and do sparring with someone else, and take one of everything that's out there, and be taking like 3 hours 5 hours a day every courses. You know what I mean? She doesn't have that possibility, that time. So what? Because she's a lawyer and whatnot, and we haven't seen much of that in the past little bit, and especially if she doesn't want to. She promised her father that she wouldn't do it, and so she really has to keep up that. So if she stops, she stops doing this thing and loses her job, and then that'll make her father really edgy and looking out, not edgy, but like really alert and looking for all that. I mean, he realized that the guy who she was trying to get, that she called it in. He obviously knows that it was her that called it in. So I definitely feel like she needs to keep up her lawyering for that, so she can't be going and doing 24/7 training. You know what I mean? Eat, sleep, and train, because that's what Oliver and Sarah did when they were for 5 years as they were going and whatnot. But but when she doesn't have that, she doesn't have that luxury of doing nothing but that. Even like how Thea is with Malcolm Merlin. Thea has some money left over, obviously from from Mora and Robert and whatnot, and plus she's staying with her rich dad. So Thea's fine. She has the time. She had the time to go through and train and all that stuff. And she just needed to train a little bit. Thea's not training to become a superhero. She's just training to get over certain things and be able to handle herself. Just a little bit. So I definitely feel like that she needs. I can't wait. They need to have a story where it's pretty much the next couple of episodes just be the only time we see Laurel is with Ted Grant in the gym and explaining what makes him so worthy of training. Why would she pick him? What makes her? Why would she pick him? I mean, obviously she doesn't have much choices, like I've been saying, but eventually start making him more worthy of training. Like, and she can go, oh yes, this is all I need. I don't need more classes than this. Because otherwise, I feel like right now the way that it's going with him, she's just going to be, oh, he's just a random gym, that where she can go and not get recognized, but still get welcome to training without anyone knowing that she actually has, so much training and whatnot. Because she can't just start showing up all kinds of different, self-defense class and whatnot, and she wants more than your little your little self-defense class just to handle herself. She already has that, for father's a cop and all that. But so she so I think that it's just definitely going to be interesting to make it so that it's not just because right now, like I've been saying, it just seems like it's very, just like she's just going to go from one class to the next class to the other class. So she doesn't have time to do them all out at the same time, but she may go from this class, this boxing thing, to this thing, to that thing. So I definitely want to have them. Obviously, they're not going to do that because this is Ted Grant and he's Wildcat. He's an actual superhero type thing. So, but I can't wait to them to start introducing him as a superhero to making him worthy of that. Because so far, right now, I don't know. We've only seen him in one episode, so maybe I'm being a little bit too critical. He doesn't seem like the superhero and the worthy trainer yet, because her time is limited. She wants to hurry up and start. She wants to start, feeling better and all that stuff. Be able to do what she wants to do, but she needs to do it and start learning fast. And she can't, be too busy with this all the time because otherwise Oliver will catch on and he'll stop her and try and stop her, and her father will try and stop her. So I definitely think that it'd be interesting to see, how they're going to start making him into an actual superhero. Because when we first saw him here, I was really interested because, oh my God, it's Ted Grant, but it's just Ted Grant right now. It's not Wildcat. It's not, he's just a boxer. He's not just the superhero. You don't feel like, oh my God, that's Wildcat. You know what I mean? Not, oh my God, it's Ted Grant. You know what I mean? And if you didn't know who Ted Grant was, but you know who Wildcat is, you may not just be like, oh, who's Ted Grant? You know what I mean? No idea. But then once you figure out, even if you don't know who Wildcat is, I can't wait till anyone is able to go, oh, that's a superhero. That's another superhero. If you're just completely new to the DC universe, I can't wait. I want to be able to know that in the next episode, go, oh, that's a superhero, and this is how he's so, he's worthy of her teaching, yeah, so hopefully they do that and they definitely stick on that. But other than that, I think it was very good. And yeah, the fight there where she actually puts on the mask instead of a wig and whatnot, I think is going to be very interesting. Now I kind of see that now that she's going to take over, why they kind of gave Sarah Lance the wig. She put on the mask and she couldn't, and she got all beat up. She couldn't see and whatnot. So I think that I mean, it was kind of silly, having at the beginning with Sarah having a white, blonde hair wig over blonde hair. I remember watching it with my dad. He pointed that out, saying that's kind of silly, which it kind of was, but now it makes sense because if she didn't have the wig, now Laurel has something to put on. Has part of the costume. Like she has the jacket. She's gonna find the wig and she's gonna put the wig over to cover her hair, and that's where the wig comes in. That's why. So I think that's definitely how they're going to go, and I think it was really good. Yeah. So let me end this video before it gets way too long. Peace out, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Oh, yeah, I guess my rating, I guess I rated a 9 because it was pretty good. Just hope that they, start bring the Wildcat out of Ted Grant. Peace out, guys.